connected to Chance Nolan's improvement as a passer?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so efficient in the passing game. I mean, you look at the numbers, explosive, with the ball, being directed downfield, and obviously set up with the run game. But I think it's not appropriate to say that it's just simply that. I mean, efficient in some of the underneath stuff. You have to be able to defend the run as pass-first defenders on the second level of your defense. So that's a lot of conflict on 7 guys, on every single snap, and they do it with a number of different personnel groupings. So it's not as simple as saying, it's 2 back or 1 back or 1 tight end, and then you got some wildcats you got to deal with. You got to be prepared for that, even in situations that it may not end up being wildcat. And as you say, you got quarterback under center. So no, they're good at what they do, and it's a real challenge.
Was there a moment early on when you first realized that Thule was kind of a special talent for you?
There was. I mean, I don't remember a specific one, but he certainly stands out. And maybe in some ways that's a negative, when you circle one guy, because it's just so different than the rest. And that's a challenge to the other guys. But in every way, from being physical, from trying to do everything right, both on and off the field, going hard. One of the things that we spent so much time on is effort's not extra. Hard work's not extra work. And he's just one of those guys who's go to work every single day. Has not missed a rep a day. And oh, by the way, he's a pretty good football player. And I'm not sure, which one's first. And I'd like to think because he works his tail off is how he got himself here. We need more guys kind of following that lead.
How do you decide when to use him inside or on the edge?
Yeah, some of it's tied into the guys that are around him, how they're playing. You want to give him the ability to, affect, the passer and obviously in the run game as well. And he just got a unique skill set at both. You put him on a guard and he can still put hands on a guy and get some movement, a bigger body on the interior. But you don't want to waste him on the interior because he might be our best pass rusher, So, no, what's the answer to that? It's kind of a percentage of the time. Sometimes run pass situations has a hand in it. And then certainly, kind of how the other guys are playing as well.
What do you remember the most about facing Jonathan Smith's offense back in those Apple Cup days?
Yeah, I remember not being able to stop him, and so, and that doesn't matter to these guys, and so I wouldn't put that on them. But as a competitor, you don't forget those Saturday afternoons. So he's done it for a long time, and believes in what he does. Has a tremendous track record. Has really recruited the right guys for his system. They play fast, they play hard, they play physical. You can tell they've developed, and so I got nothing but good things to say about him as a coach, and certainly respect for them as a program.
Oregon State is 14 of 14 in the red zone this season, and you guys have actually been really good on red zone defense. What's the key, just especially to stopping them in that area?
Yeah, and they're a little bit different challenges in the red zone. I mean, but part of that is you get in that goal line area and they're able to get multiple tight ends and possibly even a wildcat situation, which what wildcat football is. It's 11 on 11. There's no extras, and that puts stresses on you defensively. But number one, if you have a magic call, don't wait till they're in the goal line red zone area to call it, which we don't have one. But no, it's just battling, not giving in. It's having awareness about you that make them run on our play, No magic here. It's certainly sometimes wish there was, but give our guys credit that we've held up in some situations thus far. But those are different animal in the red zone this week.
You talked Saturday about how there's these little things that you guys need to correct. Is it tough at all to get that message across to the players when they haven't been punished for those mistakes on the field?
Some of it is number one, we coach them, so you either believe in coaching or you don't. So we got to do a better job of coaching the guys. For some of it, we talk about trust, and I always use the example. You say, well, just do your job, and if 11 guys do their job, we're going to have success. Well, if you have history in your time of college football where you did your job and it wasn't enough, it's easy for a coaching staff to come in here and say that, and you say, well, coach, but my experience says just doing my job's not enough, and then you got guys trying to play 3 gaps instead of just their own. should have made mistakes have already been corrected, yes, in almost every instance. And if you don't get it corrected, a guy that's supposed to be in the A gap, it's not in the A gap this week. It's going to be the same result that it was last week. And so, correctable, absolutely. And certainly there's not a singular position or singular player. You can address some of those things. Unfortunately, we probably kind of taken our turns kind of across the board in terms of some of those issues. But number one way to fix it is you strain, but also be very cognizant of we've survived some of those. And certainly that's not the expectation, just to survive as a defense and try to limit points. We got to be cleaner. We got obviously play harder. But the expectation is we're a single gap defense. Take care of your gap.
You mentioned that you thought Solomon Bird's performance doing 1/11th of his job would inspire other players to pick up that. Have you noticed that through practice thus far this week?
Yeah, and I think part of it too. Kind of speaking of it, I'd be naive to say, or I'd be lying to you if I said that we all of a sudden see these issues on Saturday that we don't see during the course of the week. It comes back to how you practice. It's for some of these guys and you mentioned Solomon. He's one of those guys that who performs on Tuesday, performs on Wednesday, and we can correct a lot of mistakes. Nothing's perfect. Perfect's not in the program, but he performs at a certain level and a certain want to, and we're not doing fixes. We're enhancing some of the things he does in practice. And for a lot of the guys, we got to make sure that we're at this point, we don't look at it like it's 1 week or 4 weeks. This is 9 months that we've been training these guys a certain way. And so we want to enhance, not fix. Those are two extremes, right? Enhance what you're good at, fix the things that you have issues with. And if every Tuesday is just a fix session, and then your meetings, you fix that, and then the Wednesday and so on and so forth, you're really not moving the needle in the appropriate way. And so we got to be a better practice unit. We believe that Saturday is an extension of the work week. When I say we, I mean the coaching staff right now. And so we got to get that down to our players.
Thank you, Coach Grinch.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Alex.